Hello, good evening. This is a business meeting of the Augusta City Council. Today is Thursday, March 19th, 2026. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, again, welcome everyone. We're going to begin our meeting tonight with a very special presentation and recognition. We'll be honoring the retirement of Public Works Supervisor Bob Cookson tonight. And let me turn it over to Leslie and the city manager.
Good evening, Leslie Jones, Public Works Director. I told Bob this afternoon I had 5 pages of prepared notes, and he looked at me, and it's like, no. So I want to start out, we're here to honor Bob tonight, and I want to start out with a little story about when I first met him. He came to work for us in 2003, and he was a quiet guy who came in and he did his job, and he didn't say much. But when he did say anything, he had an accent, and people knew that he wasn't from around here. So one day, someone asked him why he moved to Maine. And he said, we had a brand new house in Texas, and my wife looked at me and said, I hated tornadoes, I can't stay here anymore. So the next year, they upped and moved to Maryland, and then a year later, they moved to Maine. So that's quite a tribute to a family man that just, they had it all going down in Texas, and the tornadoes weren't working, and so they moved north. So great asset for us. So just a little history on his work with us. He was hired in 2003 as a heavy equipment operator. That's not something we do a lot. Most of our equipment operators come up through the ranks. They come as truck drivers or laborers, and we train them, and they become equipment operators. So Bob came in as an equipment operator, not always an easy thing to do, to come into an organization in the upper ranks. But he did, and he did it with dignity, and he was well respected. He then moved on to being a frontline supervisor, and then when the operations supervisor opened up in 2021, he took that position, which he's done for the last 5 years. Some of Bob's great attributes is he comes to work ready and committed to do the job. He is methodical and organized. You can count on him through thick and thin to be there for us when we need him, whether it's regular duties or during blizzards, ice storms, floods, hurricanes, and anything else, any time of day, any day of the week. And he's pretty calm and has a pleasant demeanor. He doesn't say much, and you rarely hear him raise his voice. But I can tell you, after working with him for 22 years, I can now tell when he's mad. Doesn't change his demeanor, but it's like, ooh, Bob means business. He's a team player, and he's worked well with everyone over the years. Bob raised 2 daughters with his wife, and he has mentored countless coworkers with work and life-related issues. Many a new employee arrived here not in the greatest shape, and Bob was patient with them and helped provide them with every opportunity to succeed. He had some failures, but he had many more successes, and several of his successes are right here in the audience today. Bob is a dedicated and proud American. Most of you know I was not raised on baseball and apple pie, and after watching Bob over the years, I gained a true respect for the great example he is of being an American, proud of his country no matter what. And finally, but last but not least, Bob is an Air Force veteran, and so is his wife, and that's actually where they met. And his wife is in the audience, along with some of his family, and I think Bob will introduce them in a minute. He has worked hard to honor and support our nation's veterans and recognize the sacrifices that veterans make, those at work, those who worked for us, and those who are no longer with us. So on behalf of the city, I want to personally thank him for working with us for 22 years. And I know we will all want to wish him a long and happy retirement, part of which will be spent traveling around in his camper with both his human and pet family. So we thank you for your service, Bob.
You're welcome.
And I get,
him happy.
yes, I get the easy part, Bob. I'm going to present you with this plaque. It says, "The City of Augusta presented with appreciation to Bob Cookson in recognition of your 22 years of outstanding service to the City of Augusta." Presented by the grateful mayor, city managers, council, and staff. Bob, again, I've been with you all these 22 years as well, not in this role, and I may have acted a little bit different when we first started, so I have to be a little bit more professional now, but we had some great times, so congratulations, my friend.
Thank you.
Photo op guy.
Right.
So you wanted to speak, and then
Yeah,
they might want
if
to
they
ask
don't
you a
mind,
question.
just for a
Yeah,
few
Bob would
seconds.
like to make a couple comments.
Please.
I owe a lot of people. This career didn't happen all by itself. It was a team effort by every means. When I first come on board, I was lucky enough to get hired by John Charest, and I know most of you guys know who that is. He had a fondness for, and he cared about veterans because he was one himself. So I applied for the job. He found out that I was in the Air Force. I worked for the Department of Defense. I had worked for the Navy, the Air Force, and the Army, and he thought I had served in all those branches. And I said, no, I worked for him, but I didn't serve in all of them. I would like to thank Jerry Dostey, who was instrumental when I moved up to the frontline supervisor. He was a great mentor, and he was always there with wisdom, guidance, and without that, I don't think I would have succeeded as a frontline supervisor. It's too bad he's still not here with this organization. He was a great asset. I would definitely love to thank Leslie for everything she's done. Her guidance and friendship over the years has meant a lot to me. When I've needed a kick in the butt, she was there. When I needed a pat on the back, she was there. She's always been there for me, and I can always count on her, and I know I can count on her when I retire and move on. I know I got a friend for life. Last but not least, I've got to thank my wife. She was there in the middle of the night when she got woke up with me with a phone call. Hey, you got to come in. It wasn't easy. Working 32 hours straight, running a grader, plowing snow when John was here. She was still there at home waiting for me when I got home with a hot meal and let me take a nap before she asked any questions. So she was very patient. And without her, I couldn't have done this either because I'm a person who gets comfortable in life and I do not like change. And she was there and she challenged me all the way. She said, you got to be a frontline supervisor. You got to put in for this operations thing. You can do it. And she gave me the confidence to do it. So I owe a big thanks to her. And the last thing is, it's been my privilege to serve here in the city of Augusta. I really love this place. We're not planning on going anywhere. We have our home here right on Coney Street. We'll go traveling with our camper. I'll be hunkered down here in the wintertime, calling and complaining about the streets not being plowed. But I know, working with these frontline supervisors and the rest of the people at Public Works, that I'm turning this over and it's going to be in good hands going forward. You guys are lucky to have these people here working for the city, and you are truly, truly lucky to have someone like Leslie, who is your director. So I just want to thank you again for everything, and thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you. Bob, we sometimes take a moment, if you want to have any pictures taken, I know you had a couple of pictures taken over there, but, and, what's that? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we'll give you if you want, you can use the well, have any family pictures taken. But I would like, at the same time, like invite counselors to make any remarks. I'd like to, Counselor Lynn.
So I'm going to go first, Bob, because I'm an Air Force retiree. So
Yes, yes.
you're a great example of why we should hire a vet. I didn't know you were an Air Force veteran,
Oh.
honest to goodness. So integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all we do. And those are the core values, and you're there. You're standing right there. So public service isn't always glamorous. You know, it's not always easy, but it matters deeply. So I just wanted to say you earned this next chapter. I'm sure you're going to be missed. I think you have a new supervisor.
I do.
Yep, that's awesome. That's going
No
to work
union
out very
either.
well. Bob, thanks for working for my hometown.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Counselor Sinkowitz.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Bob. I know APW and Public Works departments in general are not always the ones that get all the attention, but you really are the backbone of our city. You're doing the things that take care of our city day in and day out. And I remember in my orientation to Public Works walking through, and the whole culture there is really one of, we just get it done. We get it done, and it's going to be okay, and we'll figure it out. And that made such an impression on me as I walked through, seeing the building that is in desperate need of repair, and the employees still being like, oh, yeah, and we're going to keep doing our jobs. We're going to keep showing up. And this city is just deeply grateful for the work that you've done, the leadership in that department that shows up in the quality of the work that gets done. I hope you really enjoy your retirement. Glad to hear you're not going very far, and I hope to see you around town.
Oh, thank you.
Just want to add my thanks and congratulations on your retirement. Thank you for your service for the Bureau and the department, and for your service to our country as well. And glad you're going to be around. I hope you enjoy living here in Augusta and watching Public Works from afar. With that, it's up to you. We'll take a break if you want to do any kind of photos with family or friends. And
Yeah, with my coworkers and yeah,
Sure,
my
and-
wife.
Right in front. Coworkers. With the coworkers and stuff? You want council to come in too? Yeah, come on in. Come on in.
It does, it doesn't.
Yeah, right.
2003, I started doing the math. I'm like, that's not that one. Oh, actually, it is. CE. Well, what's happened? CE. You could say CE. Yeah.
Of
Absolutely.
course. Happy to.
Thanks for sharing them.
Thank you.
all right. Well, thank you very much. Really nice to be able to do that for Bob. Next on the agenda is a public hearing. The subject of the public hearing is the possibility of an extension of the homeless shelter moratorium. And The way I'll conduct the public hearing is, again, I'll open it up for comments and testimony, invite any comments from staff, any comments from persons in favor of the extension, persons wishing to speak in opposition to the extension of the moratorium, and finally, hear from those speaking neither for nor against. And then we'll close the public hearing. Later on in the agenda, we do have an order for council action on the subject. So with that, I'll open the public hearing. Does staff have any comments or reports they want to make in connection with the extension? Hearing none. I invite any public comment from those in favor of the extension? None. Anybody opposed would wish to testify? Hearing none. Finally, anybody who would wish to testify neither for nor against, but would like to testify nonetheless? Again, hearing none. Close the public hearing. Again, we'll take action on that shortly. Next is the consent agenda, and Madam Clerk, beginning with 26038.
26-038, City Manager, Bureau of City Clerk, be it ordered that the minutes of the City Council regular business meeting held March 5th, 2026, submitted by the City Clerk's office, be hereby approved.
Thank you. Is there any public comment? And then 26039, please.
26-039, City Manager, Bureau of Audit, be it ordered that the roll of accounts for February 2026 in the amount of $6,551,103.88 be hereby approved.
Thank you. Is there any public comment on 26039? Hearing none. Next is new business orders and resolves, 26040, please.
26-040, Mayor and Council. Whereas on December 18th, 2025, the City Council enacted a moratorium ordinance on shelters, the ordinance providing for a 90-day moratorium on the permitting of homeless shelters within the City of Augusta, the moratorium. And whereas since the enactment of the ordinance, the city has worked diligently to prepare amendments to the city code to address risks to health, safety, and property of city residents, including those within homeless shelters posed by inadequately regulated homeless shelters. And whereas reasonable progress is being made to address these issues, however, the city requires additional time in which to prepare and adopt appropriate regulations. And whereas the ordinance authorizes the City Council to extend the moratorium as necessary to draft amendments to the city's ordinances, and whereas the City Council continues to consider the potential threats to health, safety, and property described above to constitute an emergency within the meaning of Article 2, Section 9 of the City Charter. Now, therefore, be it ordered that the moratorium imposed by the ordinance be hereby extended and remain in effect for an additional period of 90 days, being 180 days from the date of enactment of the ordinance. Be it further ordered that this order shall take effect immediately in accordance with Article 2, Section 9 of the City Charter.
Thank you. Let me invite any public comment. Hearing none. Move next to 26041, please.
26-041, City Manager, Bureau of City Clerk. Be it ordered that the attached list of election clerks be hereby appointed in accordance with MRS Title 21A, Chapter 7, Subsection 503A for a 2-year term to expire April 30, 2028.
Thank you. Is there any public comment? Hearing none, we turn next to old business. Ordinances being read for the second time. There'll be a vote required tonight. 26036, please.
26-036, Mayor and Council. Whereas the City Council desires to amend the provisions of the City Code governing taxi cab operators within the city to remove the requirement that taxi cab operators maintain a place of business within the city.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilor Lynn?
move to waive further reading of item 26036 with consent.
Thank you. It's been moved by Councilor Lynn to waive the further reading. Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion is adopted by unanimous consent. Now it's time for public comment on the second read. Is there any public comment? All right, let's move back to the top of the agenda for council action on these various items, beginning first with the two items in the consent agenda, the minutes and the roll of accounts.
Move for passage, Mr. Mayor.
Moved by Councilor Lynn,
Second, Mr. Mayor.
seconded by Councilor Judkins. Is there discussion? And then please vote.
Motion carries, 7 in favor, 0 opposed.
Thank you. Next is 26040. This is the homeless shelter moratorium extension. Is there a motion?
Move for passage, Mr. Mayor.
Moved by Councilor Judkins,
Second, Mr. Mayor.
seconded by Councilor Lind. Is there discussion? Again, this is being adopted as an emergency measure, so it does require a supermajority to take effect immediately. If there's no further discussion, please vote.
Motion carries, 7 in favor, 0 opposed.
Thank you for that. 26041, please, which is the approval, appointment of election clerks.
Move for passage, Mr. Mayor.
Moved by Councilor Lind and seconded
Second, Mr. Mayor.
by Councilor Sinkowitz. Discussion. Please vote.
Yes.
Motion carries, 7 in favor, 0 opposed.
Thank you. Next is 26036. This is the second and final reading of the modification to our taxi cab regulations here in the city of Augusta.
Move for passage, Mr. Mayor.
That's been moved for passage by Councilor Lind,
Second, Mr. Mayor.
seconded by Councilor Judkins. I invite any discussion? Hearing none, please vote.
Motion carries, 7 in favor, 0 opposed.
Thank you. Next is the communications portion of our agenda. Are there any committee reports? Councilor Sinkowitz.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would like to update that the opioid settlement funds task force is slightly behind. I am in charge of turning our application into a Microsoft form and have hit a couple road bumps in my skills along the way. So I am working at that, and we will have that open to the public very soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions or comments for her committee? Other committee reports? Hearing none. Turn next to the city manager. Do you have a report?
No report, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, before we conclude tonight, we do have a motion to go into executive session. It's 26042.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilor Lynn.
I would move we head into executive session to discuss a real estate matter in consultation with Corporation Counsel regarding legal rights and duties and potential litigation under the authority of 1 Maine Revised Statute, Section 405(6)C and E.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second, Mr. Mayor.
Seconded by Councilor Judkins. Is there any discussion? Hear none, so please vote on the motion to go to executive session.
Motion carries, 7 in favor, 0 opposed.
All right, with respect to that action, the council will move to conference room A for its executive session. We'll come out of executive session for the sole purpose of concluding the business meeting. Do not anticipate that the council will take any formal action as a result of its discussions in executive session. With that, I guess I should ask if there are any announcements before we conclude. Anybody have any announcements or anything? No. All right. So we'll move directly to executive session. Thank you very much, everyone.